Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to get right into the 2020 outlook for the sign of Pisces. Alright Pisces, you're up next. And this is going to be a general outlook for 2020. It's not necessarily going to look at any one particular area of your life. It's just really a general outlook to see what your primary objective for 2020 is going to be, what your primary focus will be, what issues you may be bringing into 2020 from 2019 that you may be working on. All right, so let's just see what 2020 holds for our lovely Pisces. And of course, all of your other videos are linked in the description. And let's get right into it, Pisces. Of course, just take what applies to you and disregard the rest. All right. And we have straight out the gate, 5 of Wands, covered by death. Wow. Okay, we have 6 of Swords. Move this over a bit. 4 of Wands in your unconscious. You have Moon Energy, which is your card, coming in. 7 of Swords, Justice. 6 of Wands. Sometimes that happens. 2 of Discs or Pentacles, and the Lovers at the very top is how you round off your year. Bottom of the deck, you have 5 of Cups. Okay, so, all right. I'm going to get back to that 5 of Cups. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Let's get right into your energy, Pisces. You have couple of 7s and a lot of 6s, right? We have 3 6s and 2 7s on the board. Very, very interesting, actually, energy. 6 is the number for harmony, and of course 7 is the number for our wishes and dreams and aspirations, right? So this year is really about moving towards harmony in your goals. But let's get right into your center card and your cover energy, Pisces. Your center card is 7 of Wands covered by death. So 7 of Wands is, of course, when you really just stand up, it's you against the world, right? It's David and Goliath. It's you against the world. Nobody's really there holding you down for you or holding your back. You really feel like you're the one who's really fighting for your dreams, right? Like I said, 7 is the number for dreams and aspirations. And so here we see someone who's really sort of, continually coming up with creative sort of solutions, right, to their obstacles, continually sort of battling away for their position, for their little sort of slice of the planet, right? And you're covered with this death energy. So this year's huge transformations. You've been working towards this objective and goal for quite some time. And I think for Pisces, it may have felt a little bit like a real uphill battle for a long period of time as well. But with death coming in this year, everything is just going to change. There's going to be huge upheaval. And there's going to be changes that are unavoidable, because even though death doesn't talk about a physical death when we're referring to it in tarot, it is nonetheless just as formidable, right? It's death, and death really can't be stopped. And so these are changes that are going to happen regardless, Pisces, right? But it's very much how you handle them. You're coming into the year with a 6 of Swords and 4 of Wands. So I'm going to say for a lot of you, part of where you've been battling has been in your private life and for a certain relationship, a twin flame connection. 4 of Wands talks about that soulmate connection, a twin flame connection. But soulmates and twin flames are slightly different from each other. We're talking about definitely this connection that you have with somebody when you're in love, romantic love, right? Romantic sort of magnetism and attraction. That is really specifically twin flame, as opposed to sort of a soulmate, which could be a friend, right? Soulmates can be all kinds of relationships we have. But in any case, I want to say that a lot of this battle has been for your relationship, 7 of Wands, because this year you come into the year with an attitude of like, listen, I'm not going to battle anymore. I'm not going to argue anymore. 6 of Swords is like, I'm just done sort of with this strife. I'm ready to have harmony. And in the back of your mind, you have a 4 of Wands. So for a lot of you, it's still like this harmony that you're wishing to have with your lover. I'm going to say that this this strife, or this sort of, not even so much strife because that would be 5, but 7 of Wands, this sort of battle that you've been having, I'm going to say for a lot of you Pisces, this has been outside of your relationship. So your relationship, your connection with your lover is really strong and stable. 4 of Wands, right? It's very strong. It's very stable. It's, you're wanting to commit to it and continue to keep pushing forward and progressing forward with this relationship. 4 of Wands is Venus in Aries, and so you're always sort of trying to keep it alive, keep it fresh, keep progressing forward with the love and the energy. Keep maintaining your stability in this connection. And I think this year you choose for you and your lover to really get away from all of this strife, and this death and this change that's coming in is really going to help a lot. I think this is really a reading for a Pisces where you've been with somebody, you guys have had some kind of outside influences that have been sort of trying to impact your relationship, and you've really sort of been feeling like it's been an uphill battle in this area. It could be also outside energies that are impacting your relationship, and you're feeling very much like you're on your own, and your partner may not be acknowledging this impact or this pressure that's coming in. And so you do still feel very much like you're the one sort of fighting for the relationship, fighting for the maintenance of the relationship, the stability. Moon energy and 7 of Swords. So this is the energy you kind of come into the year with, Moon. And it's a feeling of really being unsure about your feelings, feeling like you're just being tested. This is your card, Pisces, right? Moon is your card. The Chariot is associated with Cancer. A lot of times people get these confused, but the Moon is the card for Pisces, and it's really this sort of like veil, right? The veil of not really knowing exactly what's going on, not really being 100% sure of how you feel right now. It's just been so much. I think for you, there's been so much battling that you really, you know what I mean? You know you love this person, but it's just been such a nightmare. You feel the Moon, although the Moon is associated with you, Pisces, it is also the card in the Major Arcana for a testing time in our lives. The Moon can indicate tests, going through all kinds of different tests, because it's like, do you have the courage to go through this dark valley? Do you have what it takes? You can't see everything. There's going to be areas that are hidden from you. Right? And this is what we talk about with Moon energy, sometimes indicating that you're not seeing the whole picture. Right? People say, oh, you're not seeing the whole picture. There's something being hidden from you. It's more than that. The Moon is really a testing period. So, yeah, of course you're not seeing the whole picture. But the real point here is, do you have what it takes or not to pursue this? Right? Because you never always have all of the information to any scenario. So here we're talking about how strong are you, because this is the second 8. The first 8 is strength, the Leo. And so here, we're testing that strength that we've accumulated. Can you handle this? Can you handle being in a relationship where at times things are unsure, or at times you're not going to have sort of full stability? Can you handle that? Can you get through that? How do you handle that? And this is all associated with the Moon as well. And I think you're just having a lot of doubts in the beginning of the year coming in, just because it's been such an uphill battle. You round the year off with a 7 of Swords, and this is quite interesting. Also, 7 of Swords is the card for treachery and thievery by those close to us. It is the card for futility also. And I'm going to say, for some of you, it could very well be by the end of the year, you find out why you've been having to struggle so much here. This is another 7. Here's 7 of Wands, here's 7 of Swords. I think you find out this year that a lot of the pressure, a lot of the problems you've been having in your relationships, a lot of this all this sort of aggravation that you feel like you've been having to deal with, but it's like, why am I having to deal with it? Am I the only one here? And there's all kinds of other issues associated with it as well. I think at times wondering where this energy is even coming from. Misunderstandings, obstacles, right? You find out towards the end of the year that somebody has really been interfering. This is really interesting that you will come into the year with really having a lot of mixed emotions, and you're really not sure of what's going on, right? There's a lot that's going on behind the scenes that you're just not aware of. Later on in the year, you find 7 of Swords, a card for treachery. this is when you're going to find out that somebody very close to you has been the one behind the scenes. Someone really close to you, probably the person you least expect to do this to you, has been sort of orchestrating a lot of this shiciness behind the scenes, and it's really been down to their influence that you've been having such a difficult time. It's going to feel very much like an awakening. And again, the moon is a testing phase because this will happen in relationships. We can't always account for those around us and how they sort of seek to undermine us. And so this is, again, definitely a period of testing to see, like, are you and your lover strong enough to deal with this kind of interference without it tearing you guys apart? Because yes, in the beginning, you may not know why all of this bad energy is around, this miscommunication, this struggle, things keep sort of going wrong. You don't know why. And it's like, can you stand it though? Can your relationship handle it? Can you guys handle it talking to each other? Like, how do you deal with this? And so, yeah, in a lot of ways, this year is testing the strength of your relationship, but it is also testing how you handle certain things. But also then, when you find out that this person has been really close to you, working behind the scenes to undermine you, is really going to be like, wow, I can't believe it. And then now we can get into the Five of Cups. Because the Five of Cups is really going to be a feeling of sort of sadness and kind of grief that comes through this year, because you realize that there are people in your life who really aren't your friends. They're really not your friends. They're really not showing you the love that they say they have for you. And this is going to be a period throughout the year as you begin to find out, who is really on your side and who's really working against you. I think there's going to be a real feeling of sadness, because Five of Cups is a real feeling of sadness. It is an eternal struggle sometimes between holding on and choosing to let go. And I think for a lot of you, you're going to be feeling the sadness because you're going to realize that there are certain people in your life that you indeed have to let go. You have to get rid of them. You have to let go. You have to cut the ties, because you're going to be finding out that all this time they've been trying to take your sort of heaven. They've been trying to take your peace of mind. This is usually someone very close to you also, because it's that kind of really treacherous, nasty energy. You wouldn't get that from a stranger because the connection isn't there. It's the fact that they want to covet what you have, Pisces, which makes this really sort of an underhanded sort of kind of connection. The way you come into the year and the way you approach all of this is with Justice energy, 11, and then you are met with Six of Wands, which is a victory. You approach all of this with a real fair mindset this year, right? You really choose to be very balanced and fair. You are choosing to really sort of make sure you find out the whole truth and nothing but the truth before you make your judgment, before you sort of render your decision. I think you're realizing the importance of really sort of, because what's going to happen is for a lot of you, Pisces, you're going to realize that not paying attention and not being thorough might have been one of the reasons why this person was allowed to get so deeply into your life to sort of try and mess it up. And I think your response is that, well, now I am here and present, and now I'm going to be doing everything that I can to get the real truth out and not to sort of rush to judgment. I want to be fair, and I want to know what's really going on. This is also going to be a year where because of a lot of these issues, you're not really exercising any extreme behavior. You're really trying to stay reserved, conservative, right? So until you get to the bottom of this. Now you're met with this Justice is met with a Six of Wands, which is victory. So your victory comes in this year. And it's very public, and you're very vindicated, because I think definitely some of these trials and tribulations you've been through with this Seven of Wands here, sort of continually trying to come up with solutions for a lot of obstacles in your life, a lot of this has been very public. And I'm sure that there may have been things like, your friend or your social circle may have been seeing you kind of struggling in some areas, or struggling with some issues. All the while, nobody realizing the influence of this sort of very treacherous individual here. Nevertheless, as everything begins to come out this year and the way you approach it, you're sort of so magnanimous about it. You take so much the high road in this entire situation, Pisces, that when you come out with your victory that you're met with, it's just like everybody's like, oh, wow, yeah, of course it is in Pisces. It's so-and-so who's really effing everything up, or did you hear that, all this time, her best friend was trying to, you know what I mean? You get a victory, and it is a real victory, because it's not even so much, Of course, nobody wins when you find out that somebody close to you has been treacherous, okay? So nobody wins in that scenario. And them being exposed doesn't make you a winner. It just makes the whole thing just even all that more sad, right? But this victory that you get is not that type of victory. It's a sort of a victory of sort of like where your character may have been besmirched, or where you may have been blamed for things that you didn't do, right? Or maybe you were having issues in your relationship because of this interference, and you were this whole time trying to say, look, it's not me. You got to understand, you really, it's that your person and your friends realize that, and it's that kind of victory. They realize that, oh my God, I should have never doubted Pisces. Pisces, my Pisces is honorable. My Pisces would never do the type of things that we associated with them, or what have you, right? I'm just sort of, because I don't know what situation it is that you're going through, but this victory that you're going to have this year is going to feel like a real vindication. And I think also in a lot of ways it'll feel like a real vindication with your love connection also. This could also be, by the way, not just someone who is a friend interfering with your life, but this could also be the ex-lover or spouse of your partner, okay? And so in a lot of ways, I want to say it's your partner's ex or spouse, or ex-spouse or ex-girlfriend, right? Because they're coming into your relationship and interfering, right? And you didn't know that this person was doing that. Or it could be very much a case of, I really do believe it's your partner's, for some of you, this is very specific, I'm going to say it's your partner's ex. And why I say that is that, for a lot of you, the scenario will be that you've probably been trying to sort of step up the commitment in your relationship, get married, what have you, but this ex has been staying in the picture, just constantly interfering, constantly throwing monkey wrenches in. You may have children with this person, or your lover or your partner may have children with this person, and it's just very, very, very difficult to sort of deal with their interfering. That's one of the reasons why this commitment has been held up. Coming into this year with this intention to finally get past it and get to where you want to be with your relationship, it could very well be that these changes coming in may have been changes that you and your lover have perhaps instigated in 2019, but of course they're coming to fruition in 2020. But in any case, these changes and this desire for you guys to keep pushing forward, it could very well be that it's this year that you finally deal with this ex, right? Their treachery and their ways finally come out. An example would be that, they may have been holding up child support or child custody, and then they're exposed and sort of you guys win the child custody or child support. You know what I mean? Or there's something else that's exposed about their behavior, and now the obstacles are removed and you guys are finally able to get married. It could be that this person has been holding up a divorce decree to try to stop you from marrying your lover because they don't want you guys to get married, and they've been doing all this underhanded shit to stop it. In either case, this is going to be also a very real example for some of you Pisces, and I say that because Justice and Victory card has come in, so it feels very much like for some of you this will very exactly be the case of like a court case or a decision or rendering, right? That impacts this relationship and that will impact your sense of victory this year. And so in this way, that's why I'm saying for some of you, you may have been battling child custody or child support. You may have been battling the divorce decree or the separation decree being finalized so that you guys can go ahead and move on getting married. Whatever the official judgment is, for some of you, that's very much the case. And it comes in this year and you have your victory because, thank God, it all happens the way you want it. You put up with enough of this toxic energy. And then you come round out the year with this Two of Pentacles, which is physical change again, and lovers. You guys come together. And this is why I say for some of you, this will be the year where that divorce is finally comes through, or that separation decree finally comes through, or whatever that rendering or judgment is, it finally happens. And changes finally come through, physical, mental, emotional, huge changes come in that allow you guys to finally get to your lover's position. So fear not. This is a really good reading, Pisces, but it is definitely a reading for a Pisces who has been struggling, where you and your partner have really been struggling under sort of the actions of some really effed up toxic ex-lover or ex-spouse or people around them. And this year it all very much comes to a head. And you guys get your justice. The changes come in right away, though. Financial changes come in right away. And there will be perhaps some upheaval. Because for those of you who are actually waiting for this justice, waiting for a judgment to come in, once the judgment comes in, there may indeed be some financial upheaval in the sense that there always is, especially if there's a judgment that's you've been waiting for quite some time, right? But nevertheless, you round off the year with the Lovers, so you guys are absolutely finally able to come together, which is what you always wanted. Let me go ahead and pull your clarifiers. So again, for some of you, this is going to be someone here, Seven of Swords, maybe someone very close to you who's been interfering. It may be the ex-spouse of your lover, or the ex-boyfriend or girlfriend of your lover, or the baby daddy, baby mommy of your lover, right? In any case, this person is exposed this year, and a lot of the actions that they've taken against you are rectified, because not only does justice come in terms of a very real sort of court decision, but justice comes in just in terms of your life, right? Life is going to balance the scales a bit more, and everything that you've been having to put up with this person is going to go away, right? There will be some growing pains, and the death, by the way, these changes that are coming in this year is also like very much the universe sort of aligning itself to help you through this. And so the changes that death is bringing, like I said, they're unavoidable, but they're oftentimes divinely guided, right? All right, let's get your clarifiers. 7 of Wands right away. There you go. And 4 of Cups. Somebody was unhappy. Prince of Discs, and you have the Queen of Cups. At the bottom, we have 10 of Wands. Oppression. So yeah, the oppression has gotten too much. The oppression from this whole scenario is too much, and this year you lay it down, right? This is what we're talking about, laying down the things in your life that have just become so sort of unbearable. Here we are, 7 of Wands. 7 of Wands is clarified. So again, yeah, you come into this year with a conscious focus of like just not wanting to battle anymore. You know, yes, you have valor, you have bravery and all of that, but you're just a little bit tired, and you're wanting to be more in sort of harmonious waters. Nevertheless, it is definitely because you've put so much effort into protecting yourself and your position, right? And so this desire to move away is really sort of a conscious desire between you and your lover, in a sense that you've stood your ground. And certainly if this decision comes in from justice, which it will, it's almost as if, oh, we got our rendering, or we got our sort of custody, or whatever the case may be, and it's like, oh, okay, so now we can finally move. Now we can finally get on with our lives. 4 of Wands, 4 of Cups. So absolutely somebody's angry because you guys have this love connection, right? And 4 of Cups is like, you know, this is, you've rebuffed them. Somebody's been rebuffed. Somebody, you know, was offering a cup of love to someone, and that cup of love was ignored, and instead you two got together. And, you know, so I want to say that this person, you know, this is the person who may have tried to hand your lover a cup of love, or you a cup of love, and you're like, no, I'm with this person over here. They're very angry about it. Again, it could be the ex as well. It could just be that the ex is just so upset that the stability has come in here. Because with 4 of Cups, we talk about, like, you know, pushing away, not accepting that cup of love, right? Saying, I don't need it, you know, I got enough. Could very well be a case that, you know, you may be with somebody, Pisces, or this is vice versa, but your lover may be somebody, or, and again, I say your lover because I feel like this person is associated with them, but it could be you too. But in either case, it could be like, you know, they were with somebody a while back, and they tried to be a great boyfriend or girlfriend to that person. That person just kept sort of rebuffing them and spitting in their face and not being cool with them and just taking them for granted, right? Taking them very much for granted, and they leave that person, and now they're with you, and they have this really strong, beautiful relationship, and that person who used to take them for granted, who didn't accept them when they had the chance, is now the one coming back angry because you guys are the ones who have the strong foundation. And oh well. So moon energy is covered with Prince of Discs, which is the same as the Knight of Discs. In the traditional deck, this is the Thoth deck, and so Knight of Discs is talking about your objective, right? This is a testing phase, but the Knight of Pentacles or Prince of Discs is the most sort of committed knight in the deck. He's just not going to let go. And no matter how much this period has been a struggle for you, Pisces, or no matter how much you feel like this has been one big test, you're just not going to let go. Your objective is to keep plodding away until you reach it. And that's what, that's what the Prince of Discs is all about. And now we have the Queen of Cups coming out. And again, I want to say, when you realize what's going on here, for some of you, you do absolutely feel in a way sorry for this person, because Queen of Cups is very sensitive, obviously. So below as above. She really wears her heart on her sleeve. She is really the great empath in the deck, so she really can understand other people through her own feelings. And I want to say, for a lot of you, there's definitely going to be a feeling of like, wow, when you realize what this person has really all been up to, especially for those of you who are dealing with somebody here where you didn't know about what was going on. I'm not just talking about the situation. Some of you are dealing with exes and you know the treachery, right? But some of you are going to be finding out about friends or people close to you that have been doing things behind the scenes to sort of try to mess your life up. And when you realize who it is, it's going to feel very much like, wow, like not even anger. It's not even going to be so much that you feel anger. You're just going to feel so overwhelmingly sorry for them. Because what they do doesn't work. Remember, Seven of Swords is still the card for futility. And in this particular scenario, what they're trying to do just doesn't work, because the love you have with your partner is so strong. You know what I mean? So it just doesn't work. And in this way, they just don't accomplish their task. They only accomplish being very unhappy. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. Let me pull out your oracle card, just to see what your animal spirit for the year is. And let me move this 10 of Wands, which you are absolutely ready to let go of this year. This is definitely going to be a year of releasing burdens that you've been carrying, especially for this situation. This is going to be about either you or your partner, or you and your partner, sort of dealing with the burdens of previous families, previous relationships, right? You may both have children with a previous spouse or relationship, and this may be a scenario that you're both kind of dealing with, vice versa. But the most important thing is that you're coming out of this year with beautiful lover's energy, right? And that everything changes, and you get your connection and your strength and stability that you've been wanting, that you've been working towards. All right, guys, let's pull out your oracle for our lovely Pisces. 2020. I want to see what animal spirit you may or may not be walking with. And of course, this is the beautiful Spirit Animal Oracle deck from Colette Baron Reed, which I'm giving away this month for Christmas. So if you want to be in the running for this, all you have to do is be subscribed to my channel and leave me a comment in one of my videos letting me know that you are indeed interested in receiving this deck. You will then receive a brand new version, or a brand new product, I guess, a brand new box, right? This is the box, the cards that I've unboxed and I'm now using myself. And there's an unboxing video in the description also. All right, Pisces, let's get on with pulling out your beautiful animal spirit. I do apologize for the background noise, living in the city, All right, we're just gonna pull one beautiful card for you, my lovely Pisces, for your year. And for you, we have beautiful elephant spirit. Learn from the past. So some of you, elephant, of course, is the great destroyer of obstacles. So this year, a lot of these obstacles we were talking about are going to go away. You're going to find out why they were there. But the elephant is very strong and formidable. And just like death, he comes in and there's really not much you can do. The elephant brings with him wisdom and abundance, but these are blessings. And the blessing of the wisdom is indeed learning from your past. If you've been through this sort of situation, could very well be, Pisces, that you've already been through a very difficult divorce yourself, and now it's your partner who's going through it, right? And so you have a lot to sort of offer in terms of your experience, because you've already been there, done that. In any case, learn from your experience, employ your experience, and definitely having this beautiful elephant spirit with you this year is definitely indicating that this is going to be a huge year of obstacles that have been in your way being destroyed. Those who have served to be an obstacle in your way being revealed and sort of exposed. And you absolutely being vindicated and rounding the year out with your love connection intact and ready to move forward. Very strong indeed. A great feeling of vindication here, Pisces. If you enjoyed this reading, please like, subscribe, and share, guys. Don't forget to leave me a comment. Don't forget to let me know if you're interested in this oracle deck. And, of course, you have to be subscribed for that, too. But for right now, Pisces, have a wonderful rest of 2019. And I wish you nothing but the best for you and your lover in 2020. Bye-bye now.